Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how you can put together a meal plan that's simple, easy and stress-free. Let's do it.
Welcome to my rhythm of life. If you're new here, we are the Middletons and meal planning just helps us get a little bit more organized. Please do subscribe if you like what you're watching. Bye!
I'm generally not a very organized person, I hate to admit it, but when it comes to meal planning, I actually do take the time to get organized. And the reason being is I don't want to have the stress of what's for supper, what's for snack, or having the whole family ask me these questions. But it takes a couple of minutes to get organized, and I usually do it on a Sunday. So let's go into it and find out just how I get organized with my meal plans for the week. And hopefully this will help you with your preparations for making meals. So first off, what I do is I make sure that I check through my stock and find what I have available, because it takes some creative thinking on what to prepare. So I start off with my proteins and I list them out. So right now I have force, chicken breasts, tuna and fish. Then I put my starches down, which I have pap, sweet potato, rice, couscous. And then I have veggies that I write down. And it's really important also with the veggies also to take note of what's frozen and what's fresh. And then I go through my snacks, what I have available and could create. Which I have some muffin mix, some popcorn, some cookies, and then the fruit. And that's the first step, where you just checking what you have in store. The next step is also just making sure you check the expiry date. And what's important with this, especially with the vegetables, is to know what you need to use up first, because you don't want to end up it being Friday and you have a frot cabbage, or cabbage isn't a good example, but you know what, a perishable good. So I list down the expiry dates, well, things that I need to use quite quickly, because that's going to be kind of early in the week that I'm going to plan it. Next up is your matchmaking. Now matchmaking is where you pick out your proteins, you pick out your starches and your veggies, and you kind of come up with a meal. It takes some creative thinking, but it does help in terms of planning, because what ends up happening is you want to spread out your meals so that you're not just eating beef all at the beginning or chicken all at the beginning. You want to kind of match make it up. Okay, once you've done your matchmaking, you also need to think, when you're doing your matchmaking, how you're going to create the meal. So for example, okay, I've got boerewors and I have baby marrow, and I'm like, okay, I could do a boerewors stew with the baby marrow and the tomatoes. Okay, with the starch I could probably do either rice or I could do mashed potatoes. So it's like kind of like a bangers and mash meal. So that's great. So I'll write it down as a meal. Okay, and then you just kind of pair it up. Okay, I've got chicken breasts. I've also got peas, and I also have pasta. So then I'll go, all right, maybe I could do something like a chicken a la king, or a pasta bake with a creamy pasta bake. That's a good idea, and I'll put it down. So once I've got all my, I'll list them out, and then once I have all my meals kind of listed out, it's now time to put your meals into your calendar. Now, how to make a calendar. What you'll need is a ruler, A4 size paper and a pen. And what I do is I usually am not so precise, but since I'm doing this video, I thought, let me just be all precise. I usually do squiggly lines down the middle, but for this video, I have been very, very nice for you guys, and I've actually used like equal spacing. For the type A people, I'm not type A, very not type A. In fact, lists and precision is really far from what I do. Anyways, so I then list out the days of the week at the top and then the meals down the side. And what I have here is I've got breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, just to get the munchies out the way. And this also helps, especially when you're putting the snacks in, to control the amount you eat as well, because you don't want to be binging all the time or just going what to eat and just eat everything. Actually putting snacks down also helps everyone get controlled with how much they eat. Okay, so when you're doing your meals, I start with the dinner first. So I've got my list of types of meals that I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do dinner first. And the reason why I do dinner first is because that's probably the main meal that I put a lot of energy and effort in, and it can take a lot of time in the day if I'm going to do a big meal. But what you want to do is also match your meals with kind of your agenda during the week. So if you're going to have a busy week on certain, or busy day on certain days, you want to make sure that either A, your meal's simple to make, or B, it's leftovers from the day before. So that's why I always start with dinner and figure out. So I know this week, Thursdays, I launch a video on Thursdays, and I'm generally lastminute.com. Thursdays and Wednesdays, I probably want something very quick and very easy to make. So I'm going to put a meal down there. Also, when you're doing your layout of meals, keeping in mind you want to use your fresh vegetables first so that you don't end up with leftover frothed vegetables. Okay, once you've done your dinner meals, it's now time to do your lunch. And the reason why I do that is also just to balance it out. So tomorrow we're going to have vors and beans with potato. Okay, so I know that for lunch I don't want to have something that's too heavy, because that meal is quite heavy, or I don't want to have a double up of chicken. So you don't want to have like chicken mayo sandwiches for lunch and then chicken in the evening. So I spread it out like that. You have to kind of almost be creative also of what you've cooked the day before, and whether you want to have it for leftovers for lunch or for leftovers for supper. So for example, if you've done a roasted chicken for supper the day before, maybe you would want to have toasted chicken mayo sandwiches for lunch, as opposed to a soup, a chicken soup for supper. So that's how it also just helps out, balance out the proteins. Sometimes, but not all the time, it helps to get the kids involved. Everyone's not too big on deciding on what meals are on the agenda, but the kids sometimes want to get involved. Okay guys, I have written out what we're going to eat. You can see yourself there.
But the square's not going to me.
Oh yeah, it's not. Shame. It's not focused on you. Okay, cool. Okay, so guys, let's talk about the snacks. Okay, let me just put out the meals. Okay, we're going to have
morning snack or afternoon?
Give me some snack ideas. I've got muffins and cheese. Hi.
Banana split.
Banana split for snack.
Maybe.
Before you actually go to putting your meals into your schedule, I suggest you either use pencil first, because sometimes you scratch it out and then you want to change the meal up, or you do a draft one and then transfer it to a final one which everyone sees. That's if you're OCD. Otherwise, you can just scratch and do whatever. So I hope that meal planning tip was helpful for you. Let me know if you do put together your own meal plan. I would love to see what you come up with. Every week is different, because it always depends on what's in the fridge. I generally am not, I don't think too far in advance. I go week by week. And if you don't have a lot of time, I usually just do Monday to Friday, and then Saturdays and Sundays are kind of free for all, and we are able to be a little bit more creative with our meals. So if you only have a little bit of time to put together your meals, I suggest just doing Monday to Friday. But yes, have fun. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to connect with us on social media, and please do subscribe to our channel and click the like button. Awesome. Bye.